I've just made a really awesome discovery in the backyard. And as I'm introducing my new digs here, I thought I'd introduce to you a little bit about what the soil's like down here. Righto, let's go have a look at Dugga's soil with Dugga. I finally had the chance to get out into the garden and have a bit of a dig around. And what I've found is simply nothing more than some of the best soil I've ever seen in my lifetime. It's pure Cambodian black gold. Let's have a quick look. As it is, the black soil found here in Cambodia is some of the most fertile soil found in Australia. It's perfect for growing a lot of different types of crops in it, vegetables included. These are black soils here, and they're a heavy clay vertisol. While the black soils are highly fertile and great for growing in, these soils are also highly reactive, expanding and contracting in the wet and in the dry. They crack and form large, hard clumps of dirt. Some of these cracks can be quite big. These vertisol soils are known as self-mulching for the fact that as they crack, they'll fold themselves into their cracks and basically mulch themselves. A really interesting natural phenomenon. So while there are some pretty big pros and some pretty big cons for this black soil, there are ways to manage it. And those ways include conditioning the soil with composts and manures to prevent these black clay clumps that occur when it's dry. Adding organic material to this soil will break all these clumps down. As well as adding that, I've added gypsum into this soil to help it along, and then given it all a really good coat of mulch. Mulching will prevent the soil from drying out and cracking so much, and will also help manage water loss in the drier times of the year. But what's got me really excited is what I found today in a quiet corner of the garden. It's nothing more than black gold, that is, if you're a veggie farmer. It all starts in this area here. The person that lived here before me kept horses on the property. And horses on the property mean that there's a lot of horse poo around. And that horse poo has to go somewhere. And I think I found exactly where that horse poo was going. Over the years, that horse manure has been broken down and mixed with the soil underneath it, forming an absolutely perfect medium for growing in. As you can see, this soil is just so easy to get into. In fact, I've got to take care not to let the fork disappear. So after turning it over and digging it in a little bit, I have found some of the best soil I've ever seen in my life. The black soil is well mixed with the horse manure, and I've actually got to do very little work to mix this in. As well as the organic material, it's full of earthworms in here. When you find worms like this in your soil, you know you're onto a pretty good thing, and that your soil's in a really healthy and good state for growing in. So this soil is really alive and should be absolutely awesome for growing veggies in. What an absolute treat it is to find soil like this in your garden. Boy, I hope I can grow stuff in it, but if I can't, I think it might be time to give up growing veggies. This is pretty good soil, bud, isn't it? I've grown veggies for a lot of years up in Townsville, and I can only wish that I'd been able to grow in soil like this. The soil down here is just so different from the soil that I grew in up in Townsville, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what exactly I can accomplish with this sort of dirt. Add to it the fact that I can grow nearly all year round down here, and I'm really excited about what I'll be able to achieve in the future. Discovering that little bit of black gold in the backyard was just too good not to share. For the moment, Cambodia's certainly living up to all my expectations of it. Time to get back to digging. Dugga and buds. Out.